Students, how are you? I hope you all are good. Okay, students, let's start our today's lecture. Our today's topic is sentences and their types. Here we discuss three types of sentences: simple, compound, and complex sentences. Okay, let's start. Firstly, I will tell you what is a sentence. A sentence is a group of words that make sense on its own. मीन्स सेंटेंस जो है वो जुमला अल्फाज का ऐसा मजमूआ है जो कि एक मुकम्मल थाट एक मुकम्मल मैसेज कन्वे करता है. सेंटेंस कैन बी सिली बट स्टिल मेक सेंस. लेकिन क्या है, ये एक सेंस क्रिएट करती हैं. द रेनबो डॉग फ्ली ओवर द सन. अ सेंटेंस नीड्स टू हैव अ वर्ब, अ डूइंग वर्ब. अ सेंटेंस नीड्स टू हैव अ सब्जेक्ट, be about something or someone. Subject is a performer of any action, and verb any action that is called verb. Any action that is performed is called a verb. So these two things are compulsory to make a sentence. Without these two things we can't make a sentence. So sentence depend upon a independent clause, and independent clause contains two things: a subject and a verb. There are 8 planets in the solar system. This is a sentence because it is conveying a complete thought. Next is and hurt his knee. It's not an independent clause. It's a dependent clause, and it's not conveying a complete sense. So we can say that this is not a sentence. The horse galloped around the racetrack. Here is a subject and a verb and also object. So this it's conveying a complete thought. So we can say that this is a sentence. Okay, students, now we are going to learn about simple sentence, compound sentences, and complex sentences. Firstly, simple sentences. A simple sentence is also called an independent clause. I have already tell you. Simple sentence are called independent clause, are also known as independent clause. It contains a subject and a verb and expresses a complete thought. It's conveying a complete thought, a complete sense. For example, Scott plays soccer in the morning. It's a complete thought, complete. It's conveying a complete sentence. Scott is a subject, plays is a verb, and it's conveying a complete sense. So we can say that this is a simple sentence. Simple sentence is equal to a subject plus one verb. यानी कि simple sentence में जैसे he runs, वो भागता है, तो वो it's also a simple sentence. ठीक है. She cooks is also a simple sentence because here she is a subject and cooks is a verb. Here's an example of simple sentences. Birds wash themselves in our bird bath. Birds are subject and wash is a verb. So it's a example of simple sentence, and it's also conveying a complete thought. Simple sentences. Tom can read chapter book. Tom is a subject and read is a verb. So Tom can read chapter books is a complete thought, and we can say that it's an example of a simple sentence. Okay, the next is compound sentences. Compound sentences are sentences that contains two independent clauses joined by coordinating conjunctions. When two independent clauses are joined with the coordinate conjunctions, so it's make a compound sentence. Okay. Only independent clause joined by coordinate conjunctions to make a compound sentences. Here is an example. Scott was playing soccer, so Mary went to the beach. These are two independent clauses. Scott was playing soccer, Mary went to the beach. So here is a coordinate conjunction, so that is used to join these two independent clauses together. Compound sentences is equal to main clause plus conjunction plus main clause. यानी independent clause plus conjunction or plus independent clause. Coordinating conjunctions, fan boys. Coordinating conjunctions connect clauses and phrases. These are used to connect two independent clauses with each other. So F for, A for and, N for not, B for but, O for or, Y for yet, and S for so. We can use one of coordinate conjunctions to join the clauses together. Jack drove the car, dash Mary read the map. Jack drove the car is an independent clause and Mary read the map is another independent clause. And here we used a verb, we used a coordinating conjunctions and to join these two independent clauses. Jack drove the car and Mary read the map. Now these two independent clauses and two different clauses are used to make a sentence, are collectively combined in a one sentence. So it's an example of a compound sentence. Compound sentences are a combination of one or two independent clauses. Jan is coming over, dash we can go for a swim. Jan is coming over is an independent clause. We can go for a swim is another independent clause. So here we use a coordinating conjunction to join these two sentences. So Jan is coming over, so we can go for a swim. Now it's a compound sentence. In upper examples, here are two different independent clauses, and we are by using coordinating conjunctions we make it a sentence, and that sentence is called a compound sentence. Complex sentences. Complex sentences combines an independent clause with one or more dependent clause. A complex sentence always has a subordinating conjunctions. Simply we can say that when an independent clause and dependent clause are joined, a complex sentence is formed. An independent, and I have told you, an independent clause has one subject and verb, and a dependent clause also is having subject and verb, but it's dependent on first clause. It's dependent on independent clause. For example, Scott wore his football boots because he was playing soccer. Complex sentence is equal to main clause plus conjunctions plus dependent clause. And subordinate conjunctions are used to join an independent clause to a dependent clause. Joins an independent clause to a dependent clause, and a subordinate conjunctions can be placed at the beginning, middle, or end of the sentence. Let's move subordinating conjunctions. These are the words that are used to join an independent clause to a dependent clause to make a complex sentence. So after, although, as, in order that, at least, even though, whereas, how, it, if, in as much, when, whenever, soon, as though, until, unless, as, if, as long as much as, because, so that, know that, now that, when, wherever, while, before, since, though, that. These are the subordinating conjunctions, and subordinating conjunctions are used to join an independent clause to a dependent clause. So I have told you a subordinating conjunction can be placed at the beginning, middle, or end of the sentence. So let's move towards complex sentence. Examples of complex sentence. When he finished reading his book, he returned it to the library. He finished reading his book is an independent clause, and he returned it to the library is a dependent clause that depend upon the first statement, first clause. Or here is a coordinating conjunction when that is used to join these two sentences, and it's to form a complex sentences. Complex sentence can make writing rich and colorful, and it also I've told you it consists of one dependent clause or one or two dependent one independent clause or one or two dependent clauses. So this is the example of complex sentences. Complex sentence: I will make the beds while you cook breakfast. I will make the beds is a independent clause, and you cook breakfast is a dependent clause, and here is the subordinating conjunction while that is used to join these two sentences to make a complex sentence. Complex sentence can enhance the beauty of a sentence and also make a sentence rich and colorful. Okay, so these are the examples of complex sentences. Here today we'll do types of sentences with examples. Students, in your chapter number 3 exercise of unit number 13, here are so many examples of complex sentence, compound sentence, and simple sentence. So it's your home assignments. You have to identify what is simple sentence, what is compound sentence, and what is complex sentence. You have to identify and differentiate the examples of these two sentences. You can also search out different examples by using net, and you can search out different examples from net and note down different examples. Thank you so much, students. Allah Hafiz.